Hi, this is Joe Chambers. Thanks for watching Musicians Hall of Fame Backstage. And don't forget to like and subscribe below. It really helps. You walk into Atlantic or they call you in, what happened? How did you get the deal?
They gave us the deal that we wanted, that I wanted, that our lawyer got us a great deal. We had free studio time.
What studio did you use?
Their studio.
Atlantic Studios.
Atlantic Studio. I think it was 59th or 60th in Manhattan, and this is where Ray Charles, I said, this is where Miles Davis, John Coltrane. I said, wait a minute. You mean I'm in that room? He said, you're in that room, dude. And I said, woo! So that's like, you know, that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
We got to make some good music here.
Yeah.
You know? It was fantastic. It was an experience I'll never forget.
So how did you choose what songs you were going to do?
Well, in the beginning, you know, like I say, they helped us out with that because we were just young kids, you know, and we really didn't have a lot of studio experience. So, you know, which is, as you know, it's a whole different thing. They can't see you, but they can hear you, you know.
Right.
So they helped us with that. They selected a lot from our albums, and they also solicited outside writers for, like, I Ain't Gonna Eat Out My Heart Anymore, which was our first real single. And, you know, because that's what you did in those days. You got outside writers, you know, to put in songs. And then we had a pretty good repertoire. I mean, we had Since I Fell For You, and we had more, you know. We had an interesting club-oriented rock and roll band. So those songs were from our, you know, stage show.
Yeah. And so the band members, how did you get the band together?
I was a college student in pre-med at the time, and I had a group I started, and I went to the Catskill Mountains for a summer, and I really didn't want to go back. I wanted to do it. One of the groups that came into the summer hotel was Joey D and the Starlighters. These guys come in, and that's where, you know, my story really gets crazy, because my life's never been the same since I met those guys. And they saw me, you know, and about a month later, I was supposed to go back to school, you know, and I was kind of starving to death because the summer was over. And my dad gave me permission to, you know, never forget his words, take a year off, see if you can make it, you know,
Yeah.
which is pretty short, but anyway, I took it. And I got this call from him. They were in Europe, and their organist had quit. He had recently gotten married, and they needed an organ player quick. So I scooted off to Germany. Next thing I know, there's this band opening up for Joey D called the Beatles. Now, nobody knew him yet because they knew him over there, but they didn't know him. And that I see and hear what was to become musical history for the rest of time. What is this? Everybody's screaming and hollering. The kids are going crazy, and I see these guys with long hair. And I remember my musical impressions of them, you know, because, you know, I'm like, what's going on here, you know? I mean, when they played American music, they were all right. You know what I mean? They wouldn't scare anybody with that. But when they played their stuff, it was unique, to say the least. I mean, it was something like, what? Pretty cool, man. You know, dun 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 dun. It's kind of different, you know what I mean? They're not on the beats like we are over here. You know what I'm saying? And I thought basically they were mostly a singing group. You know, I was not impressed with their playing. You know, I mean, I know they had some good players later, but they were all right. You know, we got, you know, the best players in the world right in this country. You know,
Oh, yeah.
we got the best players in the world. And I noticed that they were doing their own songs. So they tuned the girls screaming, and these guys, I said, maybe I want to do this for a career. You know, it looked like fun. So during that period of time, you know, I met these guys. When we came back to the States, Joey started this band in New York called the Starlighters. He had a club. And in the band was Gene Cornish, and actually it was Eddie Brigatti. David Brigatti, his brother, had been part of the original Starlighters. Well, I had to pass a certain test with the United States Army, and I didn't pass it. So I was a free agent. Prior to that, I really didn't want to do anything because I knew I was going to get called out. And then I met a great drummer. I saw this guy, Dino Donnelly, play one song. I saw him play in this club called the Metropole, which had it had a glass window on it, so you could see the band playing from the street.
Yeah.
And I saw him play one song, "I Who Have Nothing," and he did I who have nothing, boom, in time. I said, "Oh my God, look at this! Are you kidding me, man? This cat was unbelievable." So I asked him and the other guys, "You want to start a band? Let's do our own thing."
So when you wrote songs, did you write them as a group then, or
No.
And what songs? I mean, what are your biggest songs that you wrote for the band?
Well, I wrote "Beautiful Morning," "How Can I Be Sure," "Groovin'," "Girl Like You," "I've Been Lonely Too Long." All of the hits, and I really wanted to do a Lennon-McCartney, and I found out that my singing partner there, Eddie Brigatti, wrote nice lyrics. Matter of fact, he wrote lyrics that were more flowery than mine. Mine was a little too serious sometimes, And so I said, "Come on, let's do it," and we did, And it was great in the beginning, It really worked out well.
People Everywhere.
And People Got to Be Free. I forgot
People
that
Gotta
one.
Get Free. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wrote that.
Yes.
So the reason I'm asking that, you said that in the beginning they only want you to do cover songs.
Well, you see, here's the story. All of a sudden, we put out one record. It's called "I Ain't Gonna Eat At My Heart Anymore."
Yeah.
Okay. Got a top 20 maybe. And then all of a sudden, we put out this record. We had #1, "Good Lovin'." Now the tables turn a little bit. Now you ain't telling us too much. Matter of fact, I may tell you a few things. We just had #1 record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It switches. Fast too, one record. So we went in there and all 5 feet 6 of us or whatever, and we said, we're writing our own songs. We were in control, remember now, seriously, when I say produce, we were in control. And we had to kind of fight with them a little bit about, the album cover prices and costs, but we were in charge. That was the deal. And it was a great deal. And I as I say, I still don't believe we got it, but we got it.
You got paid fairly.
Who knows? I have no idea.
I mean, you didn't get some ridiculously low.
No, we were
record
luckier
deal.
than people like Tommy James, and because they didn't get paid at all.
Yeah.
No, we did okay. I mean, like I say, our mistakes came from not really renegotiating the contract when the time came, and maybe wanting to own your masters. But as far as the pay, we were making great money. I wasn't in any way complaining. Did we get it all? No, of course not.
But you were gigging all the time, making concerts.
I thought I had passed away and gone to heaven. I mean, I'm writing songs, I'm going to the studio, we're getting other charts, we're going on the road. I mean, come on, what more could I ask for?
Yeah.
And your ideas are being put into not only just tape, but Arif would call the Lincoln Philharmonic to come over and play on them. I mean, he would call. I mean, it was just like magic. It was amazing. I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
And you guys, and I say this because we're in a town full of musicians.
Amen.
You played on all your own records. Your band played on your records.
That was part of our thing. The only exception to that is as the first year and a half passed by, I was playing bass on the organ. You know what I mean? We didn't have a bass player.
Yeah.
And
pedals, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was hard because of the fact that as the sound started to progress and get better, it was noticeable that it wasn't like a Fender. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a... So Arif came in one day and he said, there's a band here. They've got excellent musicians and they'd like to play with you guys. Now, I know what he was doing. Basically, he was saying, it'd be nice if you got a bass player. In walks Chuck Rainey. Okay? See, somebody's watching us. When you send a guy like that in a room, are you kidding me? So he became a real integral part of the Rascals. And I'll never forget it because he's such a doll. I love him.
Well, you know, Raymond Zurich would hire Larry Knechtel to go back with his bass guitar because he was a keyboard player as well.
Yes.
And actually put a stringed bass guitar on the Doors records.
Oh, yeah. No, we had Chuck, man. Everything else was us, you know, unless, of course, we had strings and horns and et cetera, you know. But we sang it and we played it.